The latest news, national issues, the political scene, and conversations with prominent personalities. All these firsthand at the forefront. Good morning. I am Attorney Karen Jimeno, Filipino composer, producer, musician, and lawyer. Jimmy Bondoc is bidding to make it to the Magic 12 in the Senate this May elections. He knows that being identified with former President Rodrigo Duterte has pros and cons in the electorate process. Nonetheless, he is confident that his experience in government service and his legislative platform make him one of the better choices as a candidate. Will Filipino voters let Jimmy Bondoc be their choice in the Senate race? Joining us at the BNC studio is Filipino singer, songwriter, and a former official of PAGCOR, Attorney Jimmy Bondoc. Good morning, Attorney Jimmy.
Good morning, Attorney Karen. Thank you for having me here at BNC.
And we're very happy to have you here. So first, to get to know you better, we'll be showing photos on our LED, and then give us a brief description of what they mean to you.
Right.
So let's start with this picture. So this is Attorney Isabel Torrijos, and you met her in law school?
Yes. Attorney Isabel is my fiancée, soon-to-be wife. We're getting married on February 2.
In February, and you've been together for 7 years. So why are you getting married only now, after 7 years?
Well, you know, Attorney Karen, the past 7 years of my life have been the hardest.
In what sense?
The most difficult 7 years of my life. I was in law school, I was in government, and COVID, and all of that. No? So, despite our desire to get married maybe perhaps a bit earlier, the situation just really prevented it.
Oh, and that's understandable.
Yes.
You were both in law school, so pareho kayong nag-aaral pa that time when you met.
Yes, and I didn't want the wedding to be a part of a whole lump of events in my life.
Yeah.
But as life would have it, ganun din, because now there's the election.
You're about to, yeah, you're
So I
campaigning.
figured, yeah, there's no way to cheat it. I think it's either you do it or you don't. So I decided to just do it, despite the concurrence of other events in
And
my
it's
life.
already this wedding, your wedding is so weekend na. Upcoming.
February 2.
February 2.
Yeah.
Wow, congratulations. Invited ba kami?
Yeah, you are now.
We're inviting ourselves.
No, it would be an honor, but I'm sure you're very busy, but it would be an honor.
But congratulations. And let's look at the next picture. So this is your biggest hit in 2004. Who was your inspiration when you composed this song?
Wow. Well, you know, first of all, Let Me Be the One was actually a song I wrote while I was together with the person I supposedly wrote it for. So it was more of an anticipatory composition. Parang I knew that we would break up soon.
Ah, talaga?
Yeah, so I felt it.
But it was Let Me Be the One. So you wanted to be with this person. Is this Nina? Nina ba? Sorry, kakasal ka na sa science. Binibreak up pa namin yung past love life, no?
Baka masira pa. Huwag na lang natin
So
pag-usapan.
this is a singer as well. This person that inspired you.
Well, to give you the most honest answer, it wasn't really about just one person. Maybe majorly about one. But it was really a amalgamate. There was parang all of the breakups in my life, all in that one song.
Ah,
Yeah.
so akala ko pa naman this is to win someone over. So you had breakup in mind nung ginawa mo song na to.
Yeah, but you know, just as an interesting side point, yung Let Me Be the One is a breakup song, but I've always seen it as grace. Because it was really a song that gave me life, no, in the professional music industry. Before that, I had really been struggling, really struggling. And now, I rewrote Let Me Be the One. I'm releasing it also after the wedding. It's now a love song.
So happy na.
Yes, this same melody, but the lyrics are different. It used to say, let me be the one to break it up. Now it's, let me be the one to be with you.
And when this became a hit, sino naka-discover sa'yo? Or back then, when you were still struggling, sino ba naka-discover sa'yo para maging singer?
Oh, I will always owe Joe Mango and the DJ, si Eric Perpetua of 89.1. They really just played it as a turntable hit. They used to call it back in the day. No? It was a turntable hit. They played it, people called in, and the rest is history.
Ang galing.
I had no label. I walked in, had a CD burned. It was wrapped in the lyrics, parang ganyan, bond paper. Ganun. They played it.
O yung mga batang nanonood, they cannot even siguro understand what's a CD, no? But
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
galing. And can you give us a sample of some of the lyrics of Let Me Be the One?
Well, I'll do you one better, no? The lyrics then and the lyrics now.
O sige, that
Kasi
would be
di ba
wonderful.
yung lyrics dati, let me be the one to break it up so you won't have to make excuses. Ngayon, it's let me be the one to be with you so we could spend this life together. Yun na siya ngayon.
Wow.
And I'm very happy to have taken that new turn.
And are you going to sing this for Attorney Isabel on your wedding day?
Well, it was supposed to be a surprise, but hi, Belle.
Sorry, we ruined your surprise.
It's all right. She still doesn't know the lyrics. No one has heard it. But I've recorded it, and
Ang
I've talked to
galing.
some labels.
Okay, galing. Congratulations. And next picture, this again goes to your past. So,
Oh, yes.
Sabado Boys Band is it still your band now? Or tapos wala na kayong hindi na kayo kumakanta together?
You know, ika nga sa batas, quasi-band yan eh. Hindi naman siya banda talaga. Ito, and it is still existent.
It's still existing.
It is actually a coming together. Actually, lingid sa kaalaman ng marami. Nauna kami, no, sa mag-come dun sa new batch of singers, yung to come together, yung people, artists with different careers and different names. We came together because we wanted to offer parang value for money to the public, you know, instead of paying for one guy, it's so expensive. For just a little more, you get the whole kit and caboodle, di ba?
Oh, sino ba itong mga to na
Well,
kasama mo?
that's Paulo Santos. He's very well known, no, as an acoustic singer. That's Luke Mijares. Si DJ Mike is no longer part of Sabado Boys. He's a theater genius, no. Now the new member is si Thor Dulay from The Voice.
Talagang value for money. A lot of stars in one band.
Yeah, and parang magic really happens when you put celebrities together because nagkakaroon ng biruan, you know, you're not just talking to yourself. You know, Atty. Karen, I started acoustic, wala man lang akong banda. So, it got to a point that malungkot to. Sabi ko, malungkot to. So, it was really a breath of fresh air even for me.
Whose idea was it to band together?
Well, honestly, it was mine. It was mine. It
So
was
you
my
reached
brainchild.
out to them.
Yeah,
Ang
yeah,
galing.
yeah.
Do you still, so right now, where do you play?
Well, because of politics, we hardly play at all. But I have a bar in Quezon City. We're planning to do a show there soon.
And your political career, let's look at the next picture. So why did you suddenly decide to go to PAGCOR?
The first PAGCOR chairman, Tita Alice, was my aunt. She was my aunt. So
This was Alice
Reyes.
Reyes, okay.
Yeah. So very very early on, I knew already I was a young kid. I knew already of the social aspect of PAGCOR. I didn't even know it was about gambling. Kasi lagi ko naririnig it was about the social aspect. So when President Duterte came into power, I wanted to go into something that I was already familiar with. So it was great. It was great. I learned about how the Filipino lives and how an agency can actually change lives.
Yeah.
Directly.
They're very well funded, so they can spend on social services, social projects, right?
Yes. May mini DSWD factor ang PAGCOR.
Oo. And it was while you were in PAGCOR that you went to law school. Paano mo na-balance yung dalawa? Trabaho and then, you know, it's also difficult to be in government and then to take up law school pa, that could be overwhelming.
It was, and I don't think anyone can pay me enough to do it again. It's too hard.
Oo,
It
working
was too hard.
student and law school.
It was physically taxing. It was emotionally and spiritually draining. It was many battles against your person, and you know, government service is thankless. So I'm glad to have survived it. The best thing about it is when I took law, at least may naibaon akong title. That's beautiful for me. Kasi otherwise, some people, they give their best to the government, they give their 6 years, and then after that, parang wala na akong naibaon doon.
Oo, for yourself, yeah.
Yes.
And in your experience, hindi ka ba, ilang years ka umabot sa law school?
It was an
Hindi ka
executive
na-delay?
course, so 5 years na na-delay pa dahil may COVID and all that. But if you're curious, I never failed the subject. I'm very proud of that. And then I took the bar in one take. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah, that's really an accomplishment.
Because it's not a product of intelligence. It was really just hard work and time management.
And do you practice law up to now?
Well, as you know, the practice of law, yes, in the sense that I had clients before going full-blown into PDP. Pero I never went into litigation. Fortunately.
Yeah, so usually you just give advice and do you handle like mostly anong classes? Civil cases?
You know, ang pinaka nakakatawa, natutunan ko po is that ang daming estapador sa Pilipinas.
Pag naging abogado ka, malalaman mo. Kasi
Sabi
lahat,
ko,
kahit yung mga kaibigan mo, tatanungin ka, di ba?
Oo.
Tapos, parang, nga, no, maraming manluloko.
Tsaka sa 10 lumapit, parang 7 yata stop. So sabi ko, ang daming either manloloko or ang daming nagpapaloko. So hindi ko alam. But fortunately, most of them were settled. And then this one case, fortunately, may kaibigan ako sa aking team, si Atty. Paolo, whom I referred the case to, tas sila na yung nag-litigate.
Okay, and kanina you mentioned a bar. Is this it? Next picture? We have Aromata. Is this the bar you were talking about?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so you started singing in cafes before. Was having your own restaurant your dream?
Yes, actually, this is my third venture into this, but the others, I was either a partner or industrial partner. Ito, ako yung managing partner talaga. Although, of course, we have capitalists. No?
From na ibang partners.
Yes.
And where is this restaurant?
120 Scout Dr. Lascano. So it's a Tomas Morato area place. The best thing about it is that I get to spend time with my musician friends and I'm able to, impart some work sa kanila. The musician community was hurt the most talaga during the pandemic kasi that's the first thing to go, entertainment. So when the economy opened up, yan ang una kong naisip to open up a place where at least they can have a basic income.
So who are some of the singers that perform?
Oh, you name it, we
Aromata?
have it. You name them, we have them. Sila Nina, they perform there. Total, pinag-usapan na natin si Nina.
Oo.
Si Paulo Santos plays there.
So with you and Nina, despite her being your ex, you're in good terms now as friends?
Yes, very good. In fact, even with her husband and even with her daughter.
How nice.
Yeah. Kasi it was a good relationship. It's a good we started out as friends and I think we'll always be friends. She's a
Do you
wonderful
personally
person.
perform in Aromata as well?
Yes.
Galing.
For the simple reason that I have to scratch that itch once in a while.
Oo nga, tsaka sayang naman yung singing voice mo. Yung Sabado Boys, they sing there also?
We haven't been able to complete the group because, politics and all that. Pero, yes, we plan to perform there. Nakatatlo na kami out of 4. So,
Okay. And so now we go to this new challenge you're embarking on. Why did you decide to run for senator? After that 7 years na difficult na, lahat na lang, ngayon meron kang bagong challenge that you took on. Why Senate?
there's not enough time, I think, in any show to itemize all the reasons to run for senator. So let's just envelope it in one motherhood statement. It truly is a calling. And it's not a calling that I just woke up one day, magsisenador ako. It was a series of private revelations in through prayer na parang this is where you go, this is where you go, this is where you go. And then finally, this is the most recent step that I feel like my prayers are leading me towards.
But when you have a public service calling or desire to serve, usually you also set mga baby steps muna. Why Senate right away? As you can see, it's such a very tight race.
Yes.
Even for those that are trying to go back na naging senators na before, it's so hard for them to be in the top 12. Bakit hindi mo naisip na mag-local position muna or congressman? Bakit Senate agad?
I'll give you two major reasons, Attorney Karen, the most truthful ones. Number one, the position itself is attractive to me because lawmaking is, I love making policies. In PAGCOR, I realized that when you create policies, kasi I was part of the board, that it actually changes lives. No? Policy changes lives. So yun yung number one reason. The number two reason is, I think there is a misconception na mas madali mag-local, mas madali mag-party list. That's absolutely untrue in my opinion. Kasi una, sa local, one-on-one. One-on-one. You're up against people, and in the nature of patriarchal politics in our country, hindi mo mabubuwag basta yung congressman na nagpabahay na ng 30 years halimbawa sa isang, no matter how good you are. Party list, single vote. Napakahirap.
Oo, yeah. And now it's so tight. There's so many
Yes.
party lists.
But in the Senate, it's 1 out of 12. All you have to do, I think, I surmise, that you have to present a part of you that you think that the Senate batch needs. Na, kasi variety naman ang kailangan dyan. You're not looking for just one.
Yeah.
So I think there's even a better chance of winning in the Senate than in single vote positions.
And at least you're also known nationally. But you're running under the PDP Laban
Yes,
party of former President Rodrigo Duterte. Do you
Yes, ma'am.
find this to be an advantage or disadvantage, given that there's so many things happening in politics right now?
Well, overall, it's an advantage, especially for someone like me. You know, had it not been for my membership in the PDP Laban and their CONA, I'd probably be a nuisance candidate. Someone unable to stage a meaningful campaign, right? Palagi ko naman po, in our politics, lahat ng associations with a family name or with a party, it's a cross to bear and an advantage. It really depends on how you use it. Siyempre, sa mga kalaban po ng ating dating Pangulo, they think that it's a disadvantage. But overall, I don't think so.
And personally, ikaw, are you close to former President Duterte?
Yes, close, but it's not like I see him every day. Pero you know what, kaya po kami talaga naging magkaibigan ni Pangulong Duterte. And I hope your viewers believe it. No? It's because of a kinship and the commonality of beliefs. Kasi syempre, you know, yung public persona po ni Pangulo, alam na natin. Pero yung private persona niya and yung talagang personal dreams niya for the country are as noble as yours and mine. You know, so it's when we talked that first time in 2015, sabi ko, okay, itong tao na to ah. So we became friends.
Personally, how is he? Mabait ba? Toned down compared to what we see in public na palaban lagi at matapang?
Yes, of course. Of course. He's a gentleman. I think he is secretly an idealist. Para sa akin. I think secretly, he really just wants to bring policies and to the ideal version of it. Like, ang isang city, dapat ganito. Ang bayan, dapat ganito.
So in 2022, you supported Manila Mayor Isko Moreno when he ran for
Yes.
president.
Yes.
Bakit si Isko ang napili mong isupport back then?
Okay, again, two reasons to simplify. Number one, simply because I believed in his successes in Manila, and I really think mayors make good presidents. Simple as that.
Because executive, I mean,
Yes.
and they handle the day-to-day.
Yes, good mayors make good presidents. That's the number one reason. Number two, I really believe that the country has been burdened by name-centered politics, meaning yung mga malalaki pong pamilya. And I had hoped, even against hope, na magpatuloy yung parang may third name, imbis na yung dati, two warring families, ika.
Hindi na dynasty, you mean?
Yeah, but that's very heavy word, not the definition ng dynasty. But, okay,
Yeah.
yes.
But are you supporting Isko in this coming elections in Manila?
Yes, not by any formal agreement, but in essence, yes. Because I just saw him the other day. He's really still the same. He believes in katinoan, and gusto niya yung matino na pamamalakad. So, yes.
And you're one of the few government officials who took up law when you entered government. So in your experience now in hindsight, kasi nako-compare mo yung alam mo bago ka pumasok sa government and after mo maging abogado, do you think that taking up a law degree or at least some units in law school should be required for people in government service, especially elected positions sa legislative?
Well, I think it should be a post-election requirement. As you know, Atty. Karen, hindi naman natin pwedeng baguhin basta yung sa ligang batas, sa requirements, sa qualifications ng isang senador. No? But I think any government position should have some form of mandatory continuing legal education as lawyers have. No? Which I think meron namang ganun some forms of that. Siguro to make it more standard, para pag pumasok ka sabihin na nating artista ka, well-meaning, marami nagsusupport sa'yo, okay, you deserve to be there, nanalo ka eh. And then, the government system should fill in the gaps kung ano man yung hindi niya alam sa pagiging mayor or councilor. Education is very important. So, as a post-election requirement, yes.
And you think it's not gonna eat up their time? Kasi ikaw, you've experienced and what it's like to have to take law and then fulfill your role in a government position.
Well, as they say, the success of the student depends on the excellence of the teacher. No? So we give them a good curriculum, ika nga, para talagang it's succinct pero effective na pag-aaral.
And right now, what do you think are you able to offer to voters? Kanina sabi mo nga, when you look at senatorial bets, sometimes you look at what can I bring to that mix. So for you, when you're running for Senate, ano ba yung kaya mong dalihin na wala pa yung ibang mga candidates?
Alam mo, I jokingly said recently na my best trait as a senator is that I've never been a senator. Kasi I am not burdened by past, sabi mo ng wounded traditions, for example, in government. But I do believe that coming from an agency, it's like coming from an executive position. It's literally under the executive. Yung knowledge ko po as a lawyer, good. That's good. It helps the writing of the laws. Pero yung natutunan ko po talaga sa PAGCOR, especially in relief operations and handling the flagship projects, multipurpose evacuation centers, inikot ko po yung buong bayan. Hindi lang po talaga ako ma-post, hindi kasi, kung yung presidente nyo ay hindi ika nga nag-e-epal, hindi nag-e-epal, pardon the word, ako pa ba ang magpapapel doon, ano? So, but naikot ko po ang Pilipinas. And I can offer that picture to the public.
Okay, that's good to hear. So now we'll talk about some hot issues and then explain your stand on them very briefly. So you have 30 seconds.
Okay.
So first, impeachment of Vice President Sara Duterte.
If I agree or disagree?
Yes, what's your position on that issue?
Well, I don't think impeachment should always be in our political discussions, no? Even of the president, because naggagantihan tayo lagi and it becomes so toxic for the Filipino people, and it really stops or government really sometimes grinds to a halt just because of these impeachment talks. I think people are too tired.
Oo. And next issue, ayuda. We'll have a timer that starts now.
I keep saying in my interviews, ayuda is gamot. Ang ayuda po ay gamot. So, it's good for the sick. So, kung merong national economic or financial crisis, sure. But if it is used for patronage politics, very bad. If we give ayuda without discrimination or discernment, very bad. It reverses the values of society. Tinatamad ang masisipag at nakikinabang ang tamad.
So pero para sa'yo, dapat pang healthcare lang yung ayuda.
Hindi naman healthcare. For any crisis, economic, financial, sakuna, ganun.
Okay.
It's relief.
So yung gamot, you mean gamot sa mga pangangailangan?
Oo, gamot. Pag may sakit ang iyong buhay.
And next issue, zero budget for PhilHealth. Timer starts now.
Very bad. Halimbawa po, nung 2023, 198 billion yung premiums received ng PhilHealth. 118 billion lang yung payout. 58 billion of which was subsidy. So, mas malaki pa yung premiums received, tapos yung inalabas, mas maliit. Nasa na yung comprehensive health na pinapangako po ng ating universal healthcare?
So dapat maggamit ng maayos
At
for
least,
PhilHealth.
tsaka yung subsidy, yun yung ginagamit na nga sa payout. Hindi nga galing sa premiums. So,
Divorce?
well, I'm not in favor of it. As a lawyer, I think you know that annulment already works. And I don't think divorce addresses the real concern, which is gusto nila economically, wag maging burdensome. Pero process-wise, I think it should be a bit burdensome. Kasi hindi dapat madali maghiwalay. The state has an interest in the basic autonomous social institution, which is the family. So, padaliin yung pera side para hindi siya laro ng mayaman.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Next issue, West Philippine Sea. Timer starts now.
We should, while protecting our territory, we should really look at the economic aspect. Alam nyo, ang totoo pong interest ng tao dyan, ng mga bansa dyan, yung mga methane hydrates, yung mga isda, the economic benefits. So if we foster partnerships with allied nations talaga, multilateral treaties, they will all have an interest to protect the EEZ for us kasi may nakukuha sila. And the best way to express ownership, to show ownership over that, is to exercise acts of ownership.
And finding common interests with other nations to protect that
Yes.
whole area.
Yes.
Lastly, Trump presidency. Timer starts now.
I don't comment on U.S. politics just because of respect. But how it affects our domestic issues, yes. The best promise of the Trump presidency is what they showed in his last presidency, which is he does not meddle in the domestic affairs and military affairs of other nations. I think he's such an ultra-nationalist that he doesn't care about your military affairs.
And it would be interesting to see, what would be the effects of a Trump presidency to the geopolitical landscape.
Yes,
Yeah.
and we've seen at least may konting proof now from the past.
Oo nga, we kind of know what to
Yes,
expect.
yes,
And Attorney Jimmy, well, now that you're answering all of these issues, I can really see na marami ka talagang alam din. Do you find it to be sometimes a disadvantage that you're very well known as a singer and they fail to see beyond that?
I've always said to you that I think we all have our cross to bear, and we also have the advantages. So, kung ano ang bigay sa akin po ng Panginoon, burdens, advantages, I just embrace it. Kung sino man ang tingin nyo sa akin, kung nabababawan kayo, nalalaliman kayo, I just have to not care. And I just have to embrace God's blessings and His missions for all of us.
Yeah.
So, okay lang. Kahit ano.
Well, anyway, at least people can see that marami kayong kakayahan. And as a lawyer, lumalabas siya when you answer issues.
Oh, thank you.
Which song...
From you, wow.
Yeah. No, it's good.
Professor.
It's refreshing to see, that there's someone striving to be in Senate that has the competence for it. Which song of yours would best fit the narrative of you running for senator this May? Let me be the one. Let me be the one to be in Senate.
I'm sure people would love to have a soundbite na sabihin ko, let me be the one. But the truth is, I have a lesser-known song called Tunay na Laya.
Tunay na Laya.
Please search it, Tunay na Laya. Na ang tunay na laya po sa bayan ay yung talagang pagsunod sa patakaran.
Baka pwede mong iskanta yung few lines that would fit
Well, una sa lahat, please promise me you'll watch it on YouTube. It's free anyway. Para mas makuha niyo yung context.
Sige.
Pero yung simula niya talaga, kay tagal na nating hiwa-hiwalay, kampi-kampi, away-away. Tignan mong tunay ang buhay ng masa, malayo pa sa malaya.
Oh, very
Ang layo pa natin sa malaya.
Oo.
Ang layo sa laya.
Kaya pala. Sige, we will look for that song.
Please do.
Yeah, thank you so much, Attorney Jimmy Bondoc. It was such a pleasure to have you here today.
Pleasure and honor are all mine.
Thank you. And good luck in the coming elections.
Thank you.
An artist and vlogger known as the Dreamer when we return at the forefront. Welcome back at the forefront. And now we have with us a jack of all trades entertainment thespian who is now a political vlogger making waves online with his viral no mincing of words content. Who is Jourdan Sebastian? And why did he throw his hat into political vlogging? So he's known as the Dreamer online. Welcome, Jourdan Sebastian.
Hi, attorney.
So Jourdan, you were a producer before, writer, director, filmmaker, actor. So lahat na. Bakit ka napunta sa political vlogging?
Well, in fairness to me naman, nung college ako, political economy na talaga yung course ko.
Where did you go to
Sa University of Asia and the Pacific.
UANP. Okay, we're pareho pala tayo. I did management, yeah.
Yun, so there was a political economy course. Yun talaga yung love ko from before pa. Pero on the side, syempre, gusto ko rin yung theater, yung arts. And people ask me, from political economy, bakit ako nag-film? Bakit ako nag-entertainment?
Oo nga naman,
pero
bakit?
sa utak ko, it's one and the same eh. Parang influence.
Is it?
Politics is all about
Yeah.
influence.
But the artist part requires a lot of talent. So, dati ka pa bang may talent for acting?
Alam ko pagkalabas pa lang ng sa mundo, galing sa sinampupunan ng nanay ko, talagang bibo na ako, talagang expressive na ako, talagang creative na yung utak ko, malikot talaga. Yeah.
Oo, but it's nice that you took up, a degree like political economy. So, you have that apart from your talent. So, dati ka pa mahilig sa politics, kaya political vlogging ngayon. Pero bakit ngayon lang?
Ngayon lang, sa totoo lang, naimbita lang ako eh. Kumbaga, kilala lang ako ng mga tao na makulit. Tapos, they believe in me as a very expressive and opinionated person. So, I gave it a try. I think it was with, they asked me to comment about Manong Chavit. Tapos, yun, maganda yung nagawa ko eh. Tinawag ko siyang mayaman na gago. Para napansin ni Manong, inimbita pa ako ni Manong Chavit sa campaign niya. Kaso nga lang yun, nagkasakit and he's now recovering and he stopped running.
Yeah. So, what is your main platform? Are you on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube? Where can people find you? Para din sa mga hindi pa nakita yung mga vlogs.
I'm part of a group called Peanut Gallery Media Network. Kumbaga, they're an up-and-coming group rin. And there's several of us na mga news, how do you call it ba? News vlogging ba? Ano ba tawag doon?
Well,
hindi ako masyadong familiar eh. My world is really film and advocacy sa probinsya. So ito ngayon lang ako talaga napapasok at naiimbita ng katulad nito. Parang napansin nyo nga ako salamat na napansin nyo ako.
And in your current profession, nagtatrabaho ka pa rin full-time sa film, and do you have ongoing projects right now?
Yeah, I would say I have ongoing projects. Pero ito ngayon, I've been also recently, naimbita ako mag-advertising from after the pandemic. So I work with an advertising agency rin. Creative disruptor tawag nila sa akin. Pampagulo lang, pampakulit. So, yeah, I still do. And then I have some film projects, medyo, in development. May mga malalaking artista involved. Hindi ko lang makwento ngayon, pero very
May ano pa kayo? Nasa NDA,
Yan,
non-disclosure
yan,
agreement
yan,
stages.
oo.
And meron ka rin ba mga tinutulungan na politicians for their campaign this 2025?
Initially, talaga, it was really, primarily, I really believed in Manong Chavit. Kumbaga, there was a time na I really backed him up. In fact, kung titingnan niyo yung Facebook page niya, ako yung nagbibigay ng raffle niya with another co-host, si CJ Hero. Pero when he backed out, ito ngayon, parang right now, I think you noticed me because I said something about, what's his name? Si Kuya? Si Jimmy.
Attorney Jimmy
Si
Bondoc.
Attorney Jimmy Bondoc. Si Senator. Yan. Ako, naniniwala ako dyan. I mean, I believe, there were things that I said about it and I sincerely believe in it.
Well, you also call yourself the dreamer, and you're also known in some of your blogs as a conspiracy epiphanist. Bakit dreamer and conspiracy epiphanist?
Okay, yung dreamer, I've always been a dreamer in a sense that everything that I've always dreamt of, yung aspired for, I always go for it. And a lot of it has transpired, from films to advocacies to businesses. Nangyayari siya. And I also came out with a spoken word called the Dreamer's Manifesto. Kaya ang tawag sa akin ng mga kaibigan ko na mga artist spoken word, the Dreamer. Tapos yun na, ano na yun. And sometimes I really do. Parang ako naniniwala ako, dreams are also a dimension where the divine talks to us. And that happens to me
And
sometimes.
if you can manifest it, it can potentially happen.
Yes.
And what is why naman conspiracy epiphanist?
Parang I would say I always question what's out there. And sometimes I believe, especially at this time and age, maraming conspiracy theories, maraming fake news. Pero some of them, kahit na babrand na natin na fake or conspiracy, parang meron naman talagang katotohanan. So,
May pinanggagalingan.
Oo, may pinanggagalingan
So meron ka na bang naisip na conspiracy na yung pala totoo? Meaning pagka-uncover, later on you found out that it was true?
Yung conspiracy against those that were against the vaccines, may mga ganon. Or
You mean na meron talagang side effects yung vaccines?
Naniniwala ako that it was rushed and all of this and people were being stopped from taking it and then I explored it talagang there was, up to now, there are we're realizing more and more how it was rushed, how it was and those are the kinds of...
Nagpa-vaccine ka ba?
Nagpa-vaccine ako, oo. Only because of compliance.
Yeah.
Para kung ako lang pipilitin, akong tatanungin, napilitan talaga ako. Oo, kasi hindi ka makakapagtrabaho kapag
Oo
wala.
nga. Or travel.
Or
Bawal
travel,
din.
oo.
Yeah. Even restaurants, bawal ka pumasok, di ba?
Exactly. Oo.
And your vlog last December criticized VP Sara and that went viral.
Oh, yeah.
Can we get an idea as to what was your opinion on VP Sara that caused you to create that vlog?
Actually, medyo nagkaroon ako ng mga dyan. First time ko na nagkaroon ng experience sa online na may nagme-message sa akin at nagagalit na galit.
Tsaka bashing ba?
I'm sure may nadaanan ka na rin ng mga ganon.
Of course, I went through the impeachment. Marami na rin akong pinagdaanan. Oo.
So ako ngayon ko lang na-experience. Ako naman, sa totoo lang I love the Dutertes. I love them. Kumbaga, I was pro-Digong. And ako, I believe that Sara is yun. Sara is, kumbaga, nako, sige, sasabihin ko na. Ako, feeling ko kasi si Sara, sa totoo lang, for me, she entered this national game o national elections na medyo bagita pa. Yun yung very, very humble opinion ko. Kumbaga, para sa akin, I believe nga, yung tatay niya, sinabihan siya, in-advise siya. Yung mga people around her in Davao advised her na not to run muna. Magdahan-dahan ka muna. And andun ako, and nakikita ko rin, all the, kumbaga, na dinadaanan niyang persecution ngayon could have been prevented kung sinuportahan niya yung gusto ng tatay niya.
Which is what?
Which is, for me, it wasn't supposed to be Sara Duterte. It was supposed to be Bongo or Bato.
So you would think that dapat nag-national, kung vice president, dapat mas okay kung si Bongo or Bato?
For me,
Senator Bato.
for me.
Yeah.
Kasi at that time, Sarah was the mayor, di ba? Before she ran for ano. And it was just what, her first, second term? Hindi pa completed, hindi pa tapos na tapos, di ba? Kumbaga, and para sa akin, opinion ko ulit. When she was a mayor, I didn't really felt na she did anything beyond what her father did and established for Davao.
Yeah.
Kumbaga, she's still riding on the laurels of her father, and yet, hindi naman siya umano. Kumbaga, hindi naman siya nakalamang dun sa ginawa ng tatay niya. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying she's a bad mayor, pero yung tatay niya kasi was known to establishing the peace, order, prosperity of Davao. And what she was able to do was maintain it. Not really improve on it. Not really, there was nothing really I can say, ang galing-galing ni Sara Duterte. For her to already deserve this position. But she is popular. She's the daughter. She's this very, kumbaga, character-filled.
And well, because you also think about conspiracies, yung mga nangyari in the past months, like the OVP budget hearings, the Quadcom hearings, and also now the impeachment, do you think merong conspiracy to do a demolition job against VP Sara?
Para sa akin, obvious naman yun. I mean,
hindi
allegedly, gagawa ganun na. Di umano, para sa akin. I mean, it's like a given naman, di ba? That's what happened with Binay. That's what happened with, who else? Even the time, even before, after Binay, di ba? With whoever is talagang leading in the polls and whoever seated, nagkakabanggaan talaga kung sino yung gusto nilang tirahin, talagang papabagsakin nila. And, obvious, I mean, para sa akin sobrang obvious sa akin.
So, hindi conspiracy theory, talaga outright conspiracy?
Outright na yun, alam ng lahat na yun. Ayaw nila lang sabihin kasi nga, kumbaga, it's still working along the landscape of what's pwede naman or hindi. Like example, yung impeachment, pwede naman talaga impeach I mean, it's part of our constitutional
process. But you
process.
think, as you said, dahil bagita pa siya, this could have been prevented, meaning dapat hindi muna siya sumalan sa national if she wasn't ready to face all of this.
Yes, and I believe she should have really strengthened her relationship with her own father's political group. Diba? When we look back at how she won, it wasn't really because of an integration with her father's group. It was an integration with the Marcoses. Doon lang niya nakilala. And as we see in some videos, in some, kumbaga, pictures, noong campaign period, talagang close na close silang lahat, di ba?
Unity team.
Oo, unity team. At saka pati hanggang pati kay House Speaker, hanggang alam ko lang, nakikita ko lang video na hindi sila masyadong close, si Lisa Araneta Marcos di ba? Pero meron ako nakitang picture, parang gumaganong-ganon pa sila ni Martin Romualdez di ba? Close na close, pero si Lisa parang malayo, parang may ganon So, nakita ko lang na si Sara, she was in over her head. Kumbaga, nagsiswimming sa lalim na para feeling ko hindi pa talaga siya ready.
And what are your stand in current issues like, for example, ayuda?
Yan, maganda yan. Ayudanomics 101. Okay. Ako yung ayuda para sa akin, by the very word, it's good. It's good. By the very word, tulong yan, assistance yan Di ba?
You don't think it's pork barrel?
Yan, sandali lang. Ikaw naman,
sige. Pinangungunahan na kita, okay.
Hindi, pero by the very word, it's good. I mean, times na nag-pandemic, di ba, tayong lahat gustong-gusto natin may ayuda tayo. Kasi daming nawalan ng trabaho, di ba? Pero yun nga, magagaling ang mga, legislators, they were able to really use and do something that's good and use it for their own interest, yung mga political interest. And yun nga, ang nangyayari ngayon, sa totoo lang, nagkakapilian Allegedly, dun sa grassroots, sa mga babaan talaga, nagkakapilian kung sino may ayuda, sino wala Sino yung kapag kakampi ka ni barangay captain or kakampi ka ni mayor, nagkakaroon ka eh. Pero yung mga iba dyan, marami.
Oo,
dahil
parang
kalaban.
Gigil na gigil ka. Ha? Okay. Sige, so what about this proposal? Merong isang kongresista na nag-propose ng death penalty para sa mga politikong mapatunayang corrupt.
Good luck kung mapasa. Ilang ang sabi ko. I mean, it's not in this, kumbaga, in this round. Hindi. Ito sabihin ko. Depende sa midterm elections ngayon. Kung gaano ka tatag yung maisog na yan, yung mga grupo na yan na talagang sila Atty. Vic, sila ano, di ba? Yung may mga gano'n na gusto talaga nila death penalty sa mga corrupt, di ba? Balik ang death penalty. Firing squad. Ako personally, okay ako. Personally, ha? Kasi parang, ano na yung rampant na yung plunder at saka parang, ano yung sinasabi nila, impunity? Para may impunity na eh. Umabot tayo sa point, parang, kakapal na ng mukha ng mga politiko na wala na silang pigil sa corruption nila eh. Parang ganun yung nararamdaman ko. And I'm sure marami sa kababayan natin ganun din nararamdaman eh.
Oo nga. And I can feel so much your passion about this issue. But tama ka, medyo sobra-sobra na. But good luck, tingnan natin kung kaya ipasa.
Yan. Oo, kasi sila rin ang papasa, yung mga ano rin
yung mga nandun din sa Congress.
So, gagawin nila? Gagawa ako ng batas para mamatay ako, para malabo ata yun. At this time.
Okay. And you have criticized a lot of politicians in your vlogs. The Dutertes, na kahit sila, ha, you didn't spare them. The liberals. But people have noticed that hardly PBBM, hardly President Bongbong Marcos. Why is that? Do you think marami bang nagagawang maganda si President Bongbong Marcos?
Sa totoo lang? Hindi, gustong-gusto ko yung ginawa niya sa ano. Gusto ko yung ginawa niya, yung stand niya doon sa sex education for the school. You're familiar with that? Yung
You mean the
niya,
bill, yung Senate Bill
1979. 1979. Para sinabi niya, wag na yan, ano na yan, yung version na yan, hindi yan papasa, walang kwenta yan. Parang gumanon siya tungkol doon eh. I kind of agree with him at that point. Okay? With that, yun lang ang gusto ko. Sa lahat ng ginagawa niya, para sa akin, kaya ako hindi siya kinikriticize, sa totoo lang, masama ang loob ko. I believe in the unity team eh. I believe in the unity team. I didn't vote for, kumbaga, Sara Duterte and BBM. I voted, personally, I believe in the continuity of Digong. Or I believe in continuity, period.
So not necessarily that it was President Duterte that should continue in terms of yung programs niya, but more of a continuity in the government.
Ako, I believe, like many Filipinos, the system is broken. It starts with the election period eh. Di ba meron pa nga, wala pa tayong election, they're already spending billions of pesos on the national level, di ba? Wala pang campaign season. Billion na sinispend nila.
So palagay marami nasasayang na pera because of the elections.
That is the root of our problem of this democratic, tawag ko nga, democracy.
Kaya pala democracy.
Oo, kasi kumukurap na sila.
Okay, Jourdan, since kulang tayo sa time, dapat pala one full episode ka. Okay, I will go through names kasi sabi nga nila, di ba? You had a vlog in January 23 that you talked about celebrities going into politics. So I will mention names, yung mga tatakbo to na mga celebrities. Sabihin mo lang kung may K or walang K para tumakbo. So we'll start with... Sorry, putting you in the hot seat. Diba? Wala naman siguro. Starting with Willie Revillame.
Ako may K.
Okay.
Wala nang explain.
Oo, wala na explain.
Okay.
Philip Salvador.
Ayos lang.
Hindi sa may K. So, gitna. Okay. Next, Tito Soto.
Ayos lang.
Bong Revilla.
Ayos lang.
So, ayos lang is walang K?
Parang ganon.
Okay. Na mas diplomatic. Okay, next. Lito Lapid.
Ayos lang.
Okay. Jimmy Bondoc.
Yan. Okay ako dyan. Nag-attorney. Yun lang naman yung gusto ko sabihin.
Na kailangan...
Para yung mga artista naman na nag-celebrity, may platform na kayo, mag-aral naman kayo.
But Willie Revillame, wala pa siya, sabi niya, wala pa siyang platform.
Yun nga eh.
So, may K or walang K?
Wala eh.
Okay. Akala ko kanina
masyado.
sabi mo may K.
Ay, hindi. Oo, kasi para sa akin, ang artista, yung pro thing about naman artista is, na nasabi ko sa vlog ko, sila yung may pulso sa bayan eh. I mean, I think really naman is a very intelligent businessman. Na at the same time, may pulso na sa masa.
Okay.
And that's what we need naman.
Sige. Let's look at the next picture. Dan Fernandez.
Yan, okay ako dyan, kay Richard.
Okay, so
Bakit kaya? Bakit kaya okay ako kay Richard?
Next. Okay, Richard Gomez.
Arjo, sige na lang, give him a break. Bago pa naman, tingnan natin.
Tignan natin. Okay.
Arjo,
Next.
Ay,
Arjo Atayde.
Ayan, yan. Si Arjo, yan nga eh.
So with Arjo kanina,
Sorry,
may K or
oo.
wala?
Pwede, pagbigyan natin, tingnan natin.
Okay.
Tingnan natin.
Isko Moreno.
Isko, yan talagang, ano na yan eh, seasoned na yan eh. So,
Okay. So may K?
May K naman yan, oo.
Okay. Next, Victor Neri.
Actually, businessman yan si Victor Neri eh. Pwede.
Okay. Ashley Luis Manzano.
Luis Manzano, ako mas trip ko siya maging host. Yun ang masasabi ko. Okay lang ba yan? Ang bait eh, no?
Oo.
Ang dami ko na kasing kaaway. Ayoko na masyadong
dapat hindi ka na siguro naman ma-affect sa pag-bash ka dyan, di ba? Thank you so much, Jourdan Sebastian. Kulang pa
Thank you,
yung
Atty.
time. Sana next time we'll just have you back.
All right.
Okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Social media has made it easy for anybody to criticize politicians with reckless abandon. But criticizing and offering solutions are what makes Jourdan Sebastian and his vlogs stand out from the usual social media political analysts. As former US President Herbert Hoover once said, words without actions are the assassins of idealism. Be timely informed, be insightful of the news, always stay at the forefront. Join us again tomorrow for meaningful conversations that would help you form an objective personal opinion. This is Attorney Karen Jimeno. Thank you for spending your hour with us.